Hi, this is Jim Blythe, and we're here with the Sea Cadets in incredible hill country in Fredericksburg, Texas. These young men and women are here to do tactical training and to learn military procedures. We're going to have a training class on firearms, and that's going to be really great. What a beautiful day, and couldn't be a better time to be with these young men and women as they learn and they grow with Sea Cadets. You want to know more about Sea Cadets? Go to Sea Cadets national website. There are groups across the nation training young men and women. It's seacadets.org. That's seacadets.org. So this is Jim Blythe. You want to have fun? Come join us with Sea Cadets, the way to go.
First thing we're going to do this morning is we're going to talk about something that not only is important on the range, but it's important at home. Because when you think of stop the bleed, what do we think of? I mean, what kind of wounds? Gunshot. Everybody thinks gunshot for stop the bleed, right? The chances of you being shot are about 1,000 times less than you being in a car accident. Car accidents are the #1 place where I see as an EMT it's bleeding, all right, and arterial bleeding. So we were using a chainsaw, or I was using a chainsaw yesterday, right? What happens if I cut my leg? What am I going to do? No, I'm going to bleed, all right? What if I cut myself with a knife? I'm going to bleed. What if I fall down, scrape my knee? I'm going to bleed. Now, there's levels of bleeding. We're going to teach you a little bit about all those today so that when you're at home, if something happens to you, you can be your first responder. Or if you see somebody or some of your loved one, or if you're like me, a complete stranger, you're still going to help them, okay? Because that's what we do here. We learn to serve our country, serve our community, and serve our fellow. So you can follow along here. If you got an ink stick, you can fill it out as we go. But the important thing is we're going to identify and treat patients with significant hemorrhaging. Hemorrhaging meaning bleeding, all right? Loss of blood. #1 preventable cause of death. All right? So heart attacks, if I come up on a heart attack, I witness it, I start CPR right off the bat, I have a 12 to 25% chance of saving that life. That's just what it is. If I don't witness it, I have about a 5 to 12% chance of saving that life. If you witness a bleed and act immediately, you have about a 90% chance of saving that life. All right? 2 instances. Y'all are too young to remember this, but there was a young man who got in a fight in downtown Fort Worth and got stuck with a knife. He laid there for 17 minutes bleeding out. Nobody helped him. Nobody walked over there. And this kid died of a preventable hemorrhage because nobody would walk over there and stick their finger on that wound. He didn't know what to do. Nobody around him knew what to do. Nothing. Now, how many of y'all know, oh God, what's the guy that got blown up with the 50 cal? Kentucky Ballistics. He's a YouTuber on there. He was fired his weapon, had a bad round. It blew up and shot a piece into his neck. He literally stuck his thumb in it, held the artery. Luckily, his dad was there, drove him to the hospital, and he held that until he got to the hospital. He had a 100% chance of dying if he hadn't acted. I mean, within 3 to 5 minutes. But he knew enough to stop that bleed and hold that bleed. And he went 15 minutes to the hospital and they saved his life. So it's very important. All right. As I said, it's the #1 preventable. When you think about EMS response times in an urban environment, it's about 8 minutes. What I say, you can bleed out in 3 to 5, right? 8 minutes isn't going to do you any good. In an urban area, we're talking about 15 minutes or more. You're definitely going to bleed out. So you will always be your first responder, right? You will always be first on the scene because it's you or the person you're treating. All right. And then here it says arterial bleeding can lead to death as little as 3 minutes. Okay. Does everybody know the difference between arterial bleeding and venous bleeding and capillary bleeding? Okay. Well, we're going to go over that just in case. All right. What you need to do first and foremost is make sure the scene is safe. Does everybody know what that means? So when you walk up on a scene, even as an EMT, and that's my job to do, if the scene is not safe, somebody's still shooting, cars are exploding, for whatever reason, electrical lines down and zipping around, we do not approach the scene. Now, do I feel really, really, really awful that I can't help that person? Yeah. But if I go in there and I get hurt, I get shot, I get zapped by the electrical, now we've got 2 patients or 3 patients, all right? I'm doing no good by putting my life in such extreme danger that I can't treat that patient. So the first thing we want to do is make sure the scene's safe. Second thing, PPE, personal protection equipment. If you got a lot of bleeding, what should you have on? What else could you have on? Glasses, all right? Blood is gonna, your skin is almost impervious to disease unless it's got cuts. So that's why we wear the gloves, all right? We wear the eye protection and mask sometimes because the blood gets in your nose, in your mouth, in your eyes, it will enter your bloodstream. So we're gonna wear that. If you have time, put it all on, but at least gloves, eye protection, and maybe a mask. Mask isn't bad in today's world either because you won't get the flu or COVID or anything else. Second thing, especially, now if I'm working at EMT, obviously 911's already been called because I'm there, right? But if you hurt yourself or you are assisting somebody else, dial 911 right away, all right? Why is it very important for you to dial 911 if you're hurt? But what could happen with blood loss?
How much time you have left.
Well, that's true, but loss of consciousness. You will lose consciousness way before you will die. So if you dial 911, you tell them what's going on, even if you lose consciousness, they're still on their way. So it's very important that you dial 911 right off the bat. Let them know where you are. That's why situational awareness is important, because we want to know where we are, right? At least in a general vicinity. Especially if you're at home, you want to know, I'm on 1709 at a cross street of Davis. Or I'm by the Bank of America on 1709. They may not know exactly where that Bank of America is, but they can look it up and find it. Cell phones, they can ping those. Sometimes get within 100 meters, sometimes get within a kilometer. So, yeah.
Also, if you're treating someone, the 911 operator will walk you through it.
Good point. They are usually CPR certified and stop the bleeding certified. So if you don't know what you're doing, they can help walk you through it. So that's good. All right. So we're going to talk today about the types of bleeding, locations, and patient exam. And then we're going to talk about the type, how to treat it. Recognizing the life-threatening, and if y'all saw, there's blanks y'all can fill in. It should be pretty much along with what I'm saying. Capillary. Capillaries are the very last part where the oxygen and CO2 is exchanged with the blood. So that's usually at the extremity. Because I've got blood or gloves and I can't get this, I can't get this, I can't get this. No. Stage it back like this. That way you can get to your windlet. All right? Also, stage it open. You don't want to have to mess with it. All right? So you come into a situation, it's already set up. We got the wound here. So the first thing we say is apply tourniquet 2 to 3 inches above the wound and tighten until the bleeding stops. 2 to 3 inches is because you see this vein here? If that's completely severed, it will shrink up into the wound. All right? And then sometimes you'll look in there and you won't see it, or maybe you'll see one end. So we want to go 2 to 3. Yeah, there's wind, huh? 2 to 3 inches above that. If you don't know that, just take 3 fingers and put them there and put the tourniquet on. All right? So this is the leg. We're going to bring the tourniquet in. We're going to put it over the leg. We're going to pull this. And is that tight enough? No. The tighter you get this to begin with, the easier it is to stop the bleeding with the tourniquet. So we're going to get that as tight as we can. And then we're going to wrap this over here like that. Now don't wrap over this like this and keep going around, because then you can't use it. We've got it secured. We're going to turn. We're going to turn, and they're going to be screaming because it hurts. Do we stop when they start screaming? No. We're looking at the wound. This all slipped down. Nope. Should have peed on your own time. This is my time. All right. So we're going to turn Oh, I was looking at the wrong wound. Turn, turn, turn. The bleeding has stopped. We're going to do 1/2 turn, or to the next windlet. There. We're going to put that in there. We're going to cover. That secures that from coming out or turning, because they may be thrashing around or something like that. And we're going to check and see. We're going to check for a whole 30 seconds and look. Has the bleeding stopped? Yes, confirm the bleeding has stopped. Then we're going to take our ink stick that we should all have on us, right? Or in my pack, I carry a marker, and we're going to write the time on here, all right? Every tourniquet will have that. Is that imperative? No. Does it give the doctors a good indication of when the tourniquet was applied? Yes. You can't do that. You need to write it on a body part that is exposed, all right? Forehead's a good one, but what if they got a head wound and we got to dress that and stuff? Write it on their cheek. Write it on their arm. If you're going to write it on their arm or something, write it big. And then inform the EMTs when they get there, this is the time. You will think that you remember the time. When this is over, you won't remember what state you're in. All right?
The 4 cardinal rules of firearm safety, all right? Treat every firearm as if it's loaded. You walk up, just because the slide's back does not mean that it's unloaded and clear until you check it. Always assume every firearm, every time you pick it up, is loaded. Keep the muzzle pointed in a safe direction at all times. Only safe direction is that way, downrange. If on the firing line you have a malfunction, do not turn around on line with a loaded firearm. Raise your hand, we will come to you. Okay? Everybody clear on that? All right. Turn around with a loaded firearm, somebody's going to have a bad day. We don't want to have bad days. Always keep your finger off the trigger till you're ready to shoot. All right? Remember how we talked about indexing? How we've been just hammering trigger discipline this week? Because we're coming into a live fire range. You keep your finger off the trigger till you're ready to fire. Prevents negligent discharges. There is no accidental discharge. Somebody's not paying attention, somebody does something stupid, and it's a negligent discharge. That's how people get hurt. Know your target and what's behind it. What's between you and your target. You only want to shoot the target you intend to shoot. That bullet does not stop when it hits its target. It will continue to travel. That's why we've emphasized spacing when we've been moving. If somebody gets hit, one round, it stops one person. That's why that spacing that we've been harping on is so important. Okay? Can everybody hear me with their earplugs in? All right. Knowing how to properly operate your gun. Does anyone not know how to operate a gun, a pistol or a rifle? Okay. Don't be ashamed. All right? This is very serious. If you don't know, we need to know so we can make sure that we teach you, okay? All right. All right. We'll be firing 22 caliber pistols and rifles today at a stationary paper target. The pistol stage will consist of 10 rounds at 5 yards in a controlled and directed course of fire. We will tell you how many rounds to shoot and when to shoot. All right? So don't just get up there, start pulling the trigger, and shoot all your bullets at once. There is a way that we're going to have you shoot. All right? The rifle stage will be 20 rounds at 15 yards. All right? And again, it'll be a controlled, directed course of fire. Variation from any of these safety rules or from the course of fire may result in immediate removal from the range. I tell you right now, you violate any safety rules, there is no maybe. You're done. We will pull you from the range. Clear? Right. When you fired your last round, that slide on your handguns is going to lock back. Leave the slide locked back, remove the magazine, set the pistol down, and step back. And make sure that that muzzle stays pointing downrange at all times.
Everybody know what downrange is? Towards the target. All right.
All right. That's going to be stage 1. Now stage 2, that's where it starts to get fun for the top 3 shooters. Because we are scoring and judging your targets. The top 3 shooters will get 8 rounds of 45 with instructor Treibs Sig Scorpion 1911 at 3 yards. At 20 yards, they're going to get to shoot 20 rounds at 9mm with Sig MPX. And then 5 rounds, only 5?
Hey, you can put in many bullets. They're your bullets.
5 rounds of 308 out of my Springfield M1A1 SOCOM 16. And you're going to be at 50 yards for those shots.
So that's back there. And actually, it came out to 33 yards because I went back to 50. And not that I'm underestimating y'all, but I don't know that any of y'all can hit the target at 50 yards. So we went to 33.
And we may throw another handgun in there for the top 3 shooters.
Yeah.
All right. The third stage is the top shooter. Okay? You've got your top 3 in stage 1. Then the top shooter out of stage 2 gets to take a 100-yard shot with a Sig Cross and may have a little surprise they hit the target.
So if you look back there, that grove of trees, underneath it is a little sniper hide that I've built. That's where you're going to be shooting from at this far target. So that's a pretty good shot. All right.
You've got 5 rounds to hit your target.
So if you pretty much hit anywhere in that first 2 rings, you should be good.
Yeah, 2, 3.
My dead-eyed shooter, do I win every match that I'm in? Not even close.
Nope.
Because not only are those gentlemen and ladies expert shooters, they are extremely fast expert shooters, and I'm a moderate shooter at a moderate pace. So practice, 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 practice. And if you enjoy it, it's a good activity. But remember, it is a tool. It is never a toy. It is never an intimidation item. It is never something that you use on somebody to, show your power. All right? We see that in the news all the time. It is a tool to be used appropriately. All right? Like everything else in this world, responsibility, responsibility, responsibility.
I carry every day, everywhere I go.
Me too.
Unless you're my daughter or out here, or I'm out here with an open holster on my. How many of y'all have ever seen my firearm?
Or mine.
Exactly.
Never.
You've never seen it.
Nor will you unless things have gone. And we used to joke about that until a 6-year-old shot his teacher. All right? I don't know the situation. I don't know the circumstances, but God forbid, man. I mean, you're a teacher with a 6-year-old and you got shot. So that's why I used to never, if I was instructing youth, I never carried a live weapon. Now, nothing against y'all, because I think y'all are the most responsible kids I know. I will always have a live weapon on me when there's firearms out. And people I can't control, so.
Take your dominant hand, all right? See the beaver tail here? You want to get this hand, the web here, between your thumb and your index finger. Right up against there, as far as you can, all right? You wrap these 3 fingers around the grip. Index this finger. Do not, under any circumstances, put your finger on the trigger in the trigger guard until you're ready to fire. Are we clear? Okay. Then you take this other hand, your support hand. You lay it in like this. Everybody see that? Wrap these fingers around those fingers. All right? Got these 4 fingers around those 3. Lay this thumb along the frame. Then you take this thumb and lay on top. So your hands will look like this. Okay?
And we'll let you practice with your airsofts just to get a grip, and you can ask us and we'll look at it and stuff like that, so that you feel comfortable before you go up there to the line.
Proper stance, your feet shoulder width apart. I'm right-handed, so I'll drop my right foot back. You'll push out, lock your arms forward. So, what? Treibs. Step. So, you're like this. Okay? You're locked out tight. That's going to help you absorb and control the recoil of the firearm. And give you a nice, steady shooting stance and position. All right?
And the only thing I would add is if I'm shooting like this back here, my neck's going to crack really far forward, and it gets me in an unnatural position. If I move my body forward like this, I'm using natural head position, and I come into aim right here. See the difference?
You don't want to lean back.
Yeah.
Especially if you're one of the top 3 shooters.
Because those guns kick.
So, also, you want to bring the sights to your eye. Not your eye down to the sights. Make sense?
So walk with dignity, walk with military bearing.
When you step up to the line, you'll put on your eye protection, your ear protection. If you wear glasses, those will work as your eye protection, okay?
All glasses are polycarbonate lenses now, so you can wear them. Where do we get the rest of the iPro out?
I got the iPro out. You can push down here as the slide release, or you can pull back and let go. Those are the 2 ways to chamber around. Okay?
Slide release right there.
Once you load your magazine, chamber around.
Slide release right there, okay?
Right here is the decocker. All right? So you will pull the decocker for your first round so that you are in double action.
Decocker is the big one in the middle.
Questions?
We'll help you with all that part.
I'm just going over Operation D.
Yep, I showed them all the same too.
All right.
You're doing it.
And what about the boy down on the end?
Yeah, I did him too.
Okay.
Showed them where the release was, the cocker, all that stuff. And I'm going to help them if they have any questions.
Okay. You ready?
You ready? I'm ready.
Shooters, ready. Load.
There you go. All right. All right. Now we want to decock it for the first shot. So that's the decocker. See how it makes the hammer fall? All right. Decock it for the first shot.
There you go.
Everybody got comfortable with their grip? Yeah, get it up a little higher.
Move this thumb.
Keep coming up. all the way. So it's stuffed.
All right. Feel how solid
You stuff your
that
hand
feels?
all the way up there where it's
Okay.
smushing right there.
All right.
Smush it a little more. Get it up higher.
All right.
You want your
Uncross
hand
these
to
thumbs. All right.
All right. That's good.
This thumb.
That's good. You
want to get
don't really have to
up
cross it.
under
Just
there,
put them in line like that.
along
Okay?
the frame.
What
This
you want to do is
thumb
those
on
thumbs
top.
kind of pointing at the
Alright.
trigger, at the hammer. Okay. Yeah, just put them out straight, your thumbs. There you go.
Don't be afraid to hold
Now
it.
you want to put it over?
Alright.
Yeah, that's fine. Just like, but what you want to do is kind of use your thumbs to point at the target.
I got to find that course of fire.
You have it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now everybody know what target you're shooting at, right? Don't shoot at your neighbor's target because you give them points. Who said that?
Downrange.
Yeah.
Firearms downrange.
Don't shoot my table.
All right.
No, I mean just down.
On the command of fire,
And
there
now
will
up.
be one round. Double action.
Double action. One round, double action.
One round. One round. Fire.
Gotta squeeze hard. It's very hard. There you go. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Do not move the pistol, all right? All right. If you have fired your round, go to low ready. You're gonna have to squeeze hard, buddy. Yeah, it's almost there. All right, now come to low ready. There you go. All right, just there. Now that you've seen how hard that is, I'm gonna do that. Don't tell anybody I did that. Okay. You got one more shooter. Now it should be easy to. Yeah, just use that one finger like that and just squeeze with that. It's in single action, so it should be really easy. I'm sorry. Okay. Let me see real quick. Back up, back up, back up. All right, now to low ready. Hey, look at that. Good shot. All right, next course of fire.
Back this way. Right.
Maybe something wrong there.
Double action should be.
There you go.
All right.
Everybody got to figure out the trigger, right? Yep, good.
There's no time limit on this stage.
Yeah, just tell them that.
All right. There is no time limit. All right.
No time limit.
2 rounds. 2 rounds. Shooters ready.
Up. Now here, wait. Back
Fire.
with your left foot. Left foot. There you go, like that. Wait. Stop.
Shoot. 2 rounds.
So one of the things that happens, especially with 22s, if you're not pushing and holding that hard, it doesn't have enough recoil to pick up the next round. So if you just hear a dead thud, that means you didn't pick up the next round. Nope, you're ready to go now. Yeah.
It's all right. Firearm down range.
Okay. All right, that's ready. Don't. Are you fire 2 yet?
No.
Okay.
All right. You're not holding the gun.
Wait a minute. Don't be messing with my gun.
All right.
Finger indexed.
Off the trigger. Hit index. Load your magazine.
Pointy end.
Pointing in towards business end. Okay? So the nose of the bullet, this end here, goes facing the barrel. All right. Then you will chamber around.
That means pull it all the way back and let it go forward.
Then for your first shot only, here, right behind the trigger,
This big lever
little lever, it's your decocker.
drops the hammer.
Until the hammer drops. Push it down.
Single action,
Okay?
double action. Single action, double action. Making it safe again. Oh, and we discussed this earlier, but everybody seemed to forget high. If you have a little pooch right here in your hand, it's high enough. If you're like that, it's not high enough. Get it up in there. High and tight. No, wrap it around here, and then just put those two thumbs together like that. Perfect, perfect. You're good. All right, everybody decock. I don't want to see any hammers back. Cheater. All right.
And the other shot from here is going to be...
Don't worry about it. All right. Well, he's instructing the first course of fire will be one round only in double action, meaning your hammer is down. The trigger pull will be hard. Again, one round only, no time limit. Everybody work on your stance. Get your stance. If you're right-handed, right foot back. Left-handed, left foot back. Whatever your dominant hand is, that foot back.
Shooters, ready!
That means raise it. One round only.
One round on the command to fire. Fire!
Good. All right, finger off the trigger.
Pull that trigger.
Yeah, and then just hold it and just put it down there.
Long, hard pull.
Hard pull, hard pull.
Keep pulling. Keep
Pull it.
pulling. You're getting there.
You're almost there. This is only to teach you why you do not want a double action only pistol. There you go. All right, down low, ready? All right, ready?
Shooters, stuck to your tables. On the command to load, you will load your magazine, chamber around. Shooters, load. This is pointed down that way. I have to remind you again, I'm going to pull you from the line. Understand? Now you got to take this little thing on the side here. See? Don't be afraid of it. You're not going to break it. Get it in there. Smack it. Okay? You wouldn't even be able to go on this side. Pick up your rifle. We don't do the armpit thing. Alright? Up here. Up there. Here. Okay? We're going to chamber around. Alright? You're right-handed. Again, keep this foot back. No.
they're all on some fire. I had most of mine were unsafe.
That's how it works.
On the other side.
Yeah, push from the right to the left.
Ready on the right.
Ready? Ready?
Shooters on the command of fire. Fire 1 round. 1 round. Shooters, fire.
Ready? Just gonna break it up right here. And go look through that little hole and now put it on the target.
We're not playing musical fingers.
Once you fire.
And then line that up. Does that look about right? Alright, and then
Give or take, but we're going to have the same issue with it falling.
no, I was thinking tie it. Oh, you know what? Alright, you move the cart, I'll drag the weapons. Yeah, I'm not worried about that getting hit, but and if it blows up Volto, right? And then you're off safe already, or put the bolt, but just remember, as soon as you've done that trigger now, right? Alright. Alright, range is hot! Range is hot! Hold on 1 second. Range is cold! Range is cold! Everybody clear? Range is hot! Range is hot! Load and make ready. All right, loaded and make ready. Fire at will. Low. Ready. You ready? Fire at will. Looking good. Good hit. Remove magazine and make weapon safe. Range is cold.